And they're off and racing, and Perfect Gentleman seem to get away fine towards the inside. Not leading, though. Ahead of him, Kim and Kate's moved forward, so too has Clarko's back, and on the outside, Mr. Bosun's got a very good start as well. Just in behind those, the likes of Double Down racing with the cheek pieces is next in the field. Just in behind Larson, there's a couple of them pulling quite hard for their heads, just settling down. Puzzletown being one of them, Congruent is another. Puzzletown is still just quite lively, and now just Perfect Gentleman also a little freer than Sheen Murphy would have liked, I'm sure, in the early stages. Kim and Kate's with that one towards the inside of the racetrack. But it's Mr. Bosun, who stayed out quite wide throughout much of the journey down the back straight, leads the field under Rob Hornby. Mr. Bosun from Clarko's back in second place, and Larson is in third. Double Down is in fourth, and then comes Puzzletown, who's now being nudged along. Kim and Kate next. Against the rail out wider is Congruent. They're followed by Perfect Gentleman. Perfect Gentleman's got Enborn towards his outside, working away. Papal Music comes slightly further back in the field, and at the rear end of the field, Congressbury's under heavy pressure. Perfect Gentleman not really seeming going anywhere at the moment, as Clarko's back has come storming through to take the lead from Mr. Bosun. Back in third place is Larson, who plugs on together with Double Down. All much of a muchness in behind here, as Clarko's back tries to put this to bed ahead of Mr. Bosun over on the far side, who is rallying pretty gamely. There's a neck between them. Clarko's back still just in front. Clarko's back has won the opening race of the evening to beat Mr. Bosun in second place. Double Down came next, and he was with Golden Face. And they're off and racing. Once again, the mile is the trip. Too Tempting missed it slightly, but soon in touch with them as they head through the first furlong. Jade Country got a good start, and Billy Mill likewise. Discretion's right there on the inside, with Point of Fact to the outer. Lucky Sanchore is in fifth place, and Too Tempting now has made ground into sixth position through the end of the first quarter of a mile or so. You can see the Point of Facts up on the wide outside, with Met Office tracking that one. Darwell Lion as well in amongst them, pulling pretty hard now, is Just Ambo's, 2/3 of the way down the field. Sagano follows Tahitian Prince, both of those two in behind Too Tempting, racing against the rail. Dembe is overall back marker to the outside of the party, but they make their way then to halfway, and it's Jade Country and Charles Bishop leading narrowly from Point of Fact in second place, with Lucky Saint Jorge round the outside and Discretion on the rail going fine. Billy Mill is in fifth place, and then Too Tempting in sixth, the gold and blue jacket to watch out for. They're followed by Met Office around the outside of Darwell Lion, and then Tahitian Prince towards the inside, waiting for the cutaway by the looks of things. Just Amber's up on the wide outside of Farasi Lane, and then at the back end of the field we've got Sagano with Dembe, and the back marker is Warning Sign. Heading for home then, Jade Country in front. Discretion though trying to launch an attack. Too Tempting over on the far side, finishing off well. So too is Darwell Lion. Look at him finish, really packing a punch late, but Too Tempting leads from Darwell Lion as they race close home. Too Tempting far side, Darwell Lion between the two of them. Billy Mill with a late lunge as well. What a tight finish that is. Darwell Lion, Too Tempting, Billy Mill. Three of them need separating by the judge, with Farasi Lane on the outside. They're off and racing. Slowly away was another gift, dwelt out of the gates, and Willowbank not best away either from that low draw, but settling down then through the early stages. Sparklight, the favourite, got a good start ahead of Quiet Affair on the rail. Out wide is Lincoln Legacy, who's well positioned early. Fistral Beach is just in behind those. Fistral Beach followed by Forever Diamonds, who's next, as My Lady Samantha is the one who's really driven along. Point of Blue is further back with Tejesuano after that one. Willowbank, and outpace now is another gift after that slow start. Life very difficult for her. They make their way then back round for home, and turning in first, Lincoln Legacy, the orange sleeves. On the rail is Sparklight with those. Fistral Beach, and hunting them up is Quite Affair on the rail. To the outside, Forever a Diamond, as Tejesuano moves forward now ahead of Willowbank. Work to do for My Lady Samantha, and plugging on is another gift as they race then for home. Sparklight takes the lead from Lincoln Legacy. On the far side, Quiet Affair, and plugging on is Forever a Diamond. Sparklight with Lincoln Legacy battling back in great style down the near side. Oisin Murphy gets up on Lincoln Legacy to worry Sparklight out of it. In third place was Quiet Affair, and Forever a Diamond finished in fourth.
So Oisin Murphy giving the debrief to Jock Bennett and Connections. A remarkable performance from a horse who's she's known her job on debut, but she's also had the spirit and will to battle back when the more experienced and the short price favourite Sparklight was able to make use of her experience and wrestle the lead off her. As they were turning in, she looked perfectly positioned to strike, but that was particularly impressive from the way that she just went through the race. It looked like she was a sitting duck. Sparklight travelled into the race beautifully, but she's had the game and resolution to keep going. And Oisin, if I could just walk back with you, plenty to like about her attitude on debut.
Yeah, she has lots of size and lovely mover. Charlie thought she'd go very well, her trainer, Charlie Johnson, and you know, she was a little bit green in front, but I liked her attitude again at the line, and she didn't finish her tired horse, so hopefully she'll progress away.
Horses who battle back on debut as well suggest that they're possibly just in a different mental space to those who just need a little bit more time. Does she feel forward to you?
No, not really. She was waiting for other horses for company, and I wasn't that hard on her, and then she started to learn what I was asking, which is great.
Well done, Oisin.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to go now, and they're off and racing. Newcomer Timely Escape just dwelt and being pushed along out of the gates. Certain Style also sees rider William Carson pushing and shoving along in the early stages. Trip to Rome away nicely though to dispute it with Jimmy Lifestyle, and to the outside One More Wave. So a couple of the fancied runners there, Trip to Rome and One More Wave, immediately to the fore. Our Land's in behind them now with Jimmy Lifestyle. Scramble's just off the pace in fifth as they make the turn. Scramble is followed then by Certain Style, and after Certain Style there's a little break only as they pass the 4 furlong marker back to Brigitte. There's a few of them well out of their ground. Show of Hands, one of them. Ishani is another as they race round the turn, and then a long way back now in the field as they begin the run back towards home. King Elvis struggling very badly indeed, but up front the lead held here by Trip to Rome. In second position, One More Wave. They've opened up a little bit now on Jimmy Lifestyle and Scramble. Ishani plugging on. Timely Escape is way off the pace as Trip to Rome, and Neil Callan makes the best of his way home. He's 3 clear now. He's shaken off One More Wave. Not much coming from off the pace. Jimmy Lifestyle's weakening in the closing stages. Plugging on okay is Brigitte, but in a different parish to the winner. Trip to Rome bolts up here in the fourth. Beats One More Wave hands down. Brigitte was indeed third, and Scramble was fourth.
Neil Callan has got Trip to Rome off the mark at the 4th attempt. Looked fairly simple from a low draw.
Yeah, look, I suppose when we got the low draw, I rode in a couple of races earlier and they were like going so slow every race, I was actually getting annoyed. So I thought I'm not gonna like be crawling around here. I'm gonna, you know, make it a nice even pace. And I think it's better when you let them relax and they're kind of in a rhythm rather than choking them and trying to slow them down and sprint. Not every horse is the same, but look, he's a young horse, hasn't had many runs. The Holy Roman Emperors, they're quite tough, so I'd like to think that whatever mark he gets, hopefully he gets around 70. If the handicapper's watching. Look, he is what he is. He's straightforward, he's tough, and the distance and the track's perfect for him.
A bit of time, the gelding operation, have they been vital to him?
Yeah, well, I think that's one good thing when the trainer's the owner. You have the time to give them patience, and that's one thing Ed does have is patience. So he keeps telling my agent, have patience. But look, he's done a good job with him, you know, gelding him, give him a little bit of time, because he's not over big. So sometimes I suppose when you geld them and you push them, they can fall away. So yeah, you know, look, I've only done a 2-minute job, so Ed and his staff have done all the work, and hopefully he can keep going. Just
a quick line on your 2 remaining rides on here. You've got Shades of Summer and Cayman in the feature.
Yeah, Shades of Summer, solid, loves the all-weather. Last time Chelmsford stepping up in distance, I just took a trail and it seemed to work. Hopefully it can work again going the other way. Cayman, he's got some really good form on the turf, so he's not short on ability, and yeah, he's in good nick, so yeah, hopefully we can finish off strong.
And he's got a jockey beaming from ear to ear. Well done, Neil.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And they're off and racing, so they jump away. Good start from Kitten Gloves. She just nudged out to the left a little bit, and now ahead of her, Glory Sky just goes on together with Bow and Arrows. Kitten Gloves gets a toe from those. Uno Grande was well away towards the inside. Up on the outer, others that show pace include Desert Swirl, and KTK is not far off them on the wide outside flank. Duska's buried away just in behind them now, but well in touch, making their way towards the end of the back straight. Azizan is also towards the outside. 2+2 is even further back, and then another gap back to Cracking, who heads a little group at the back end of the field as they move then out of the back straight. Cracking is in front of the back marker overall, that is the Crafty Master, as they move now back towards the home straight. So as they do so, straightening up, Bow and Arrows, blue and pink colours, joined here on the outside by Desert Swirl, and also there on the outer is KTK. Looking for a run through now is Glory Sky, and getting it, improving nicely over on the far side. Glory Sky comes up to take the running now. Azizan starting to stay on now. Duska's run very well just in behind the Uno Grande next, but Glory Sky is set alight and pounces into a 4 or 5 length lead here. Thomas Greatrex in the saddle, punched right out. Glory Sky will win emphatically. Good, strong finish in second came from Cracking. Clear second best on the night. Bow and Arrows next together with Azizan, and Kitten Gloves never really looked like winning this evening.
Thomas Greatrex has won aboard Glory Sky. We'll just walk back in. Thomas, well done. Talk me through the run.
Yeah, pretty smooth, to be honest. Obviously drawn 4, we got a nice kick from the stalls and got a nice pitch just behind the leaders, and to be fair, turning to straight, I was pretty happy, and I almost got there too soon, but she's very genuine and honest, so she's seen it out well.
I think it looked a really good opportunity as well. It kind of looked like you'd had every favour afforded to you in the run, perfect position. You also, I think, noticeably sat there and waited just to really seal the deal with a bit of a burst of acceleration.
Yeah, obviously Tom Macron made the running, and you have to half wait for the cutaway, and Once it came, she was good and quick and was good.
How are things going for yourself at the moment? We're about a month and a bit into the season proper. How are things going for you?
Pretty quiet myself at the moment. Busy riding out in many places, but opportunities are hard to come by, you know. I lost my claim a year ago, and there's plenty of good jockeys in that weighing room, so hey, it's tough, but we'll keep going.
Well done here.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Set now, they're off and racing. Awkward start from Thunder Sun, one of the outsiders, and Mohi being pushed along early. Good start from Bailey's Gut Feeling, who crosses to the inside running rail just ahead of Shades of Summer, with the favourite Solar Orbiter alongside that one, and just in behind the grey Soar Above, who's another one nice and handy. On the outside, Say If You Will is prominent as well, just shading fourth, I think, ahead of Solar Orbiter. Mohi's on the inside, a little break then to Satin Snake and With Respect, who are together, as are Cry Havoc and Thunder Sun in last places. Moving then towards the home straight, Bailey's Gut Feeling is the leader from Soar Above, who now sits a clear second, just ahead of Shades of Summer. Shades of Summer followed by Say If You Will and Solar Orbiter a close fifth as they begin the turn in. Mohi comes next with Satin Snake around the outside of the party. Then comes With Respect, and at the back Cry Havoc and Thunder Sun both being pushed along. Heading down to the closing stages, Bailey's Gut Feeling from Soar Above, taking a while for Solar Orbiter on his comeback run to hit top gear. He's alongside Shades of Summer to the far side, and then plugging on is With Respect. Mohi comes after those as they race now very close home. Bailey's Gut Feeling has made all of the running here, doesn't look like being caught. Solar Orbiter is staying on into second place late in the piece, but it is Bailey's Gut Feeling who wins impressively. Solar Orbiter second, tight for third there. Two greys were involved, Soar Above and With Respect.
We'll get the pictures in quick because he won't be claiming forever. Benoit de la Sayette, join me now. Bailey's Gut Feeling coming into the race. What was Benoit's gut feeling?
Well, he's majority of the time he's a front runner. Brighton he won on softish ground, and with the warm weather today, it's really softened up the weather track here, and that played to his advantage. He broke well, had a lovely position. He did his own thing, and I'm just happy for the horse to get his head back in front.
Do you look at forecasts like that if you're riding on all-weather tracks and think, well, the track might have changed, so my tactics have to change? Is that a thing?
It wasn't really the tactics. It was ride the horse how I found him today, and see how he broke, and go from there. But by the first race, I knew this horse would probably run a great race, considering how the track was riding today.
Not long till the claim's lost now.
Well, yes. I mean, these silks for these owners, I had them for my first winner was for them, and it would have been nice to have my last winner for them. I've only got one winner left, and it was my second one, and they're such lovely people. I'm delighted. It was my last one, but at least it was my second last one, and glad to ride for them again.
Well done, Benoit.
Thank you very much.
And they're off and racing. Just a little hesitant start from Isle of Sark. It looked as though he half dropped his head as the gates prepared to open, but he's away well enough. Others towards the back include Star Caliber, and Baron Boehm is switched right off as well. So they're well strung out early stages. Sem Han is the one who bowls along, but joined now by the Lingfield winner Shockwaves on the outside. There's just a length between them now as they race past the judge with a circuit to go. Balhambar's with them, and Ivania close up as well. They're the front four. Sea King is next against the rails in fifth place. and then Isle of Sark in 6th, followed by Civil Law in 7th. Star Caliber is in 8th place, and well and truly switched off 9th and last for Baron Boehm as they now move on towards the far side of the track. Neil Callan aboard Semhan takes the field along early here in this Unibet 3 Uniboost per day handicap. 2nd place for Shockwaves. Shockwaves followed by Balambar. After Balambar in 4th is Ivania. In 5th position, down that far side, races Sea King. Sea King is then followed by Isle of Sark and then Civil Law. And still Star Caliber sitting to the rear end of the field as they now race at the halfway stage of the contest. Baron Boehm yet to make his move. Racing on down the far side, they'll be turning again in another 200 meters or so. Right-handed for home, and the leader still Semhan, but close up is Shockwaves to the outside. Then Balambar, who races just in front of Ivania. In 5th place is Sea King. Isle of Sark is in 6th position. Civil Law next, and still the back two are Star Caliber and Baron Boehm as they move round the turn towards home. Just outside the 3 furlong marker, Semhan has made all of the running to this point, tries to stretch on again by a length and a bit to Shockwaves in 2nd place. In 3rd is Balambar, to the outside Ivania, and they're followed by Sea King. After those, driven along is Isle of Sark and Civil Law with loads to do, and Star Caliber and Baron Boehm not getting into this at all. Semhan is on it here tonight. Semhan, down to the furlong marker, has quickened clear. Going on from Sea King, who's staying on in 2nd place. In behind Sea King, plugging on well, is the grey Civil Law. But Semhan, a really positive ride, rewarded with an easy win. Semhan bolts up, beats Sea King by any amount of distance. Balambar was next, and then Civil Law.
George, very well done. A really nice performance from a horse who, well, he's had a different kind of preparation this year. The Heritage Handicap that he won last year, he reappeared in, and he was always going to strip fitter for that.
I think so, mate. We did fancy him that day at Newmarket, and maybe just on that rain-softened ground, 1 3/4 and first run back, that just probably played against him. 2 out, he looked like the winner. Quite a long way out, he's looked the winner today. I mean, there was an awful lot of talk about plenty of horses in the race, and when I saw us drifting out to 12 to 1 this morning, I thought, oh God, are we in the right place? Because we've always loved this horse, but clearly plenty of people in here also love their horse. So I didn't expect him to go and win like that, but you know, we've loved him from forever and ever. And he came to us, he was running over 7 and a mile, and the step up and trip has been the making of him. Might have messed up the Royal Ascot handicap, but we can live with that, I guess.
Well, what other targets might be in play if you didn't happen to go to the Royal meeting? Does anything spring out to you?
It's not the be-all and end-all. He'll have a couple of entries there. Goodwood didn't really suit him last year. At the back of my mind, he could be, you know, with Patrick Murphy, my assistant, who does such a brilliant job at home with his wife Valerie. They were talking about Bahrain, you know, maybe the 1 1/4 races there, the 1.5 mile races there. He likes quick ground. Neil knows Bahrain like the back of his hand. If we could get Neil and Kemhan together over there, who knows? But look, when you've got a horse winning a race like that off a mark of 95, we can go home and start sort of dreaming a little bit. And funny enough, Patrick, who I just referred to, he's always felt this horse is a little bit better than 95. And finally he's showing it. Finally he's growing up. And yeah, he's just a great fun horse.
A long way to go as well till the season proper starts in Bahrain. He takes his racing well.
Yeah, look, I think Royal Ascot will have handicap if we go there, and then July meeting. If we do go to Bahrain, we probably want to give him a break from sort of August onwards for a couple of months and bring him back for that. But now he's going to be won that off top August onwards for a couple of months and bring him back for that. But now he's going to be, you know, he's won that off top weight off 95. We're going to be pushing 98, 99, I would have thought. And so there were some lovely races around the world. We love travelling our horses. We'll continue to do so. Something in Saudi for him maybe down the line. He's that type of horse, and you know, have horse will travel has always been our mantra. And we will. He's definitely going to be on the bus somewhere, but maybe Ascot first.
Big dreams. Hope you realise them. Well done.
You're very kind, mate. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thanks.
And they're off. Jumping away with Eau de Vie slowly into stride, so too Bug Boy. Up front early towards the far rail, Shipton Moyne. Juno S being driven up to come through and challenge for the lead early as well. Meister Singer got a good start, and Private Brian likewise, with Reset Button only just in behind them as well. So passing the judge now with a circuit to go, and Private Brian here on the wide outer comes through to lead from Juno-esque and Shipton Moyne. Meister Singer in fourth. Nice position early for the well-fancied Meister Singer. After these, Mount Olympus is just nipped ahead of Reset Button as they turn away to the far side. Trusty Scout and Jeanette May are amongst the next pair. They're both sitting handily enough mid-division. Just in behind those is Knight of Kings and Neil Callan, who's had such a good night. He's racing ahead of Eau de Vie. After Eau de Vie, the slow starters, including Bug Boy, are still racing towards the back end of the field. End of a Storm sits towards the rear end of the field as well. Last of all now is My Lady Claire, and Afternoon Tea's in that rear group, about 3 or 4 from the back end. They race on down the far side of the track then in this Racing TV handicap, with Private Brian and Trevor Whelan leading the way from Juno-esque, who sits in second place, and Shipton Moyne against the rail a close third. Meister Singer still in fourth place, occupying that position directly alongside Mount Olympus on the inside running rail. Reset Button is further back, Jeanette May after those. Jeanette May tracked through by Trusty Scout on the inside. Knight of Kings is one of the first ones to come under real pressure, not going well. Eau de Vie is further back, and then Afternoon Tea. Bug Boy after that one, followed by End of a Storm, and still labouring badly in rear, tailed off in fact, is My Lady Claire. So they race round into the home straight one final time, 3 to run, and the leader is Private Brian with Juno-esque right on terms now. Behind those, Shipton Moyne, Meister Singer, still not been popped the full question, neither has Reset Button on the wide outside. They're followed by Trusty Scout, who's gone for the cutaway, yet another one going strongly. Bug Boy comes next, and then Knight of Kings from the back end of a Storm. Heading then for the closing stages, and up front, Mount Olympus narrowly from Meister Singer. Trusty Scout's back in third, Bug Boy and Reset Button 4 and 5, but it's Mount Olympus and Ross Orion now clearing away from the field to win the Racing TV handicap in fine style. Mount Olympus it is, tight for second. Trusty Scout, Meister Singer and Bug Boy were the ones involved for minor money.